All right, y'all. We're cruising the domain. Boo. You know it's boo style. And we're gonna talk a little bit about some movies. I've done a live stream on TikTok, and they deleted it. They did not like the fact that I was driving and doing a live, which is, I don't know, this is a good thing, but it was really annoying. We got some really good footage. Now we gotta get some more good footage. So now I'm in the domain, and I've been hearing people talk about this movie, Obsession. Obsession. And I got feelings about it. Because I want to go see Obsession. You know, I'm more of an action guy. You know what I mean? I'm an action guy. That's kind of my deal. Oh yeah, and right now, just so you guys know, it's that Maono. You check my videos, you'll see the codes for their gear. I use them for my microphones and stuff like that. So I just picked up one of their wireless microphones and I'm testing it out to see if it can handle all the road noise of the Cavalier and if it can handle just music and background stuff in general and how it like handles that stuff and how it sounds. Because I haven't used these. I'm used to using Road Goes and all that, and I'm trying to see if I can switch over to these for professional purposes. Reason being, Rode wasn't trying to offer me no kind of a deal. I'm Benjamin-redic. If you don't offer me a discount, I have zero loyalty to your brand whatsoever. And I'm constantly gonna be looking for somebody who makes a product similar to yours that might be better than yours. And so now, that's kind of what they're dealing with now. So as you can see, we're cruising the beautiful downtown, the domain, doing the thing. If you see people looking, it's probably not because of the car. I mean, my Cavalier drop top is fun. It's a fun little project car. It's been a project for way too long, okay? Way too long. Should be a finished project by now, but it is what it is. However, I do have the ballistic blade signs on the side of the car. So people are probably paying attention to that. It makes people look, because like, what the heck, action films, nobody has it on a flyer, on a car sign on the side of the car. But me, because I'm trying to get money to make a movie. So if you see this, you got $5,000 to $10,000, let me know. We got a movie you want to make, it's fantasy, it's gonna be fire. Anyways, moving forward, Obsession. Now, I heard a lot of people complain about this movie because they're saying it made a bunch of money. It was a really good movie. And it was a very good movie. I want to point that out. It was a great movie. Okay, I thought it was a really, really good movie. It's not my typical style, but quality acting, looked really good. I will say one thing is if you're the type of person that has a hard time with a movie like American Pie, because you get that secondhand embarrassment, it's just too much for you. This movie is gonna be rough for you, okay? Because the lead character, he makes you want to just punch him in his neck for like half the movie. It's just what it is. So just so you know, you got to be prepared for that, because he's a terrible human being in a number of different ways. And I've never seen anybody be that awkward with their crush in my entire life. Like, nobody does that. So it's a whole thing. The point is, the movie is really, really good. It's well made and it's inexpensive and it's blowing everything else out the water, right? So everybody's super excited about that. Everybody thinks it's a great idea, loves it. You should definitely go watch it for that reason alone. But people are mad because they're saying there's individuals who worked on that project who did make a bunch of money, even though the movie's doing great. Now, obviously, whenever you talk about stuff like that, you gotta remember, you gotta know, it's all a matter of business, right? So we don't know what kind of contract they had in place and what the requirements were. So it's kind of hard to judge whether or not somebody's being a dirtbag or if they're under some sort of a contractual obligation and that's why they're doing what they're doing. So I have no idea. What I am gonna say is that I do think that this movie gives us a way forward. What we're seeing is that people are willing to watch a movie that doesn't have some crazy budget, that's not, $800 million with some crazy special effects ending. Like, it can just be a good, well-made movie, and it can do work at the box office. We saw this with Iron Lung. We saw this with this movie, and I think they say Backrooms as well. I haven't seen that one yet. But as I say, if we cannot do business, there is no show. So for me, when I look at the situation, the way you want to run it is, you take that same situation and you just make sure those contracts are written a certain way. So if I have people that work for me on a project, I normally have a cast crew pool set aside, like 10 to 20% set to the side. So if this movie does business, we are contractually obligated, no matter who comes after that, to do something for the people who gave their time. Because normally, we're not able to pay people, as of right now, like a SAG scale. Cannot do that. We can pay them a little bit, we can pay them some pretty good money, but we can't pay them what they might have earned in California or somewhere else as a union member making that same movie. And we can't offer all those same benefits, but we can offer you back end. Now, typically my back end comes with the parameters of, are you willing to help promote the movie in some way? Like, will you reshare a post? Will you come to an event? If I pay for, travel or lodging, will you show up and do a meet and greet? Will you do stuff to actually make sure the movie, has legs and can actually make additional money? If you're not willing to do those things, then I think that maybe you don't deserve back end, right? Oh, we're in the nice part now. Zara's and Urban Outfitters and Pure Bar. So that Domain is a nice place. If you've never been to Austin, it's a really nice place to visit. There's a lot of money here. A lot of money in this area right here. Nice little spot. If you got the bread, you can live in the Domain. You're real ritzy. You're real fancy. You fancy, huh? So these are the things that, when I look at stuff, I'm like, it's hard for me to always have a strong opinion because I don't see the contracts and deals. But like I said, we have a pool set aside for people who, I just think it's amazing that when someone slows down for you to cross the road, that instead of taking the most direct route straight across, we're gonna hit an angle like they're running a route on a football field. It's it just takes as long as possible. I guess it's the same theory there too, when a pursuer's coming at you and you're moving and you're at an angle, make it as hard as possible for him to catch up to you. This guy just did in the road. It's come on, man, can you get out of the road, please, sir? Thank you. I know you've been working out. I don't need to see it. Do the slow strut in front of some ladies, there's no value here. You're gonna get no benefit out of me with that. Anyways, moving forward. I was totally off focus here. We have a prize pool, a deferred pay pool, 10 to 25%, where people get to share in on producer points. Then in addition to that, and just for people who don't know or understand what I'm saying, you have monkey points, which are, net points after all expenses and everything is calculated. And you have other kinds of points, gross points. I tend to give people the same points I would get. If I make $1 off the movie, I would think my crew cast who worked below scale maybe can get 25% of that. Now, I'm obviously having to pay people back and reinvest money and do all these other things. But what I'm saying is, I'm trying to give them, I'm gonna make sure I tighten them up. If I have a movie that we did for $1 million and that movie does $100 million, you can best believe you're gonna see me again. I got you, fam. But in case you're not me and you gotta make sure this stuff is outlined. You gotta make sure this stuff is in your contract. Also, I think movies should do this anyways. Also, there's people, you can do the ordinary scenario where it's just deferred pay. You going? I'm letting you go. 5, 4, 3, 2, all right, I guess you're not going. Guess you're good, you're good. You're good waiting in traffic, so I'll go with me. Deferred pay, right? So you can't just have someone says, hey, I don't care about no back end points. I don't think this movie's gonna make any money. But if you do make money, just pay me my regular rate. That's also a viable option. That's very fair. So there's a number of ways to take care of people if they're taking care of you, right? There's you can do some different things to tighten people up. That's all I'm saying. So yeah, those are the two ways that normally I write contracts to try to make sure I'm not taking advantage of people and that so I'm contractually obligated to help them if things work out the way I want them to work out. You don't want to be in some meeting and you don't have anything written out like that, and someone offers you something with distribution and it sounds really good for you, but it's not going to be good for your people. See what I'm saying? I want to have, hey man, I'm sorry, we got this written up. We got to take care of our people if we're going to do another one of these. And you don't want to have to like just be saying it and saying I don't have any contracts. I haven't done this in a professional way. It was some sort of a handshake. They may not care about that. So, anyways, even in that scenario, there's still a way to take care of your people. The moral of the story is there's always a way. If you make a bunch of money off a movie, there's always a way to take care of your people. So these are the things I think about when we make a movie. Like how should contracts be written moving forward? And if we're going to talk about having an actual sustainable business model, right? Having something where independent films can actually do business and be good and profitable for everyone involved and be a good experience. Part of that's contracts. The contracts got to be written right. We got to think about the money in a different way. And like I said, for me, that comes with parameters. You know, I expect you to help. If the movie comes out, hey man, like, comment on the freaking video, share it. When we do a premiere, come to the premiere. Do a testimonial. Give us a reason why you like doing the movie. Do some stuff to help move the movie along. I think that that's only fair, especially if you want to participate in backend. Because as an editor or a producer, well, not editor, as a producer, director typically, I'm gonna live with this movie for years. Years. And I'm gonna be continuing to try to exploit it so that we can make a profit off of it. Help me. I'm not saying you gotta go on a press tour, but if I'm in your town or an adjacent town, can you help me? I think that's fair. I don't know, what are y'all thinking? What are y'all doing out there? What do you wanna see in contracts from your perspective as actors and producers doing independent film? Like, what do you think would be useful in that scenario? What will get you excited? What will get you jazzed, hyped to work on a project? For me, I want to do ambitious things, and I want those ambitious things to have real financial benefit. That's my goal. I don't know about everybody else's goal, but that's my actual goal. It's taking too long. I think I'm gonna take mode back. This is stupid. Yeah, we're gonna do this. Waiting in line is done. All right. But yeah, let me know. I'm curious what your thoughts are. Hey, for the record, these Maono mics, I'm pretty much doing like 50 miles an hour right now. It's a lot of road noise, it's wind blowing, everything. And if the audio is good, this is a good test for me. It's kind of a test. I didn't really need to do this live, or I could do it live. They kicked me off the live. I wanted to do this recording here while I was moving to test these microphones out to see if they're actually quality. Anybody can have a microphone that does business in a space that's quiet, but what if you're on the road, or if you're doing a shot like this? What if you're doing something where there's uncontrollables, right? There's variables that cannot be controlled. How well does the gear hold up? Y'all let me know in the comments below what y'all think of the microphones. I've been driving this whole time. There's a top off. There's music playing next to me. These guys playing house music in this pickup truck. Let me know how it goes. Anyways, I'm Ben-Redic, aka the Violence Conductor. Talked about Obsession. We talked about contracts and movies. Also, I'm looking forward to Street Fighter. If you haven't seen that, or you haven't seen it, it's coming out. It's coming out. So if anybody gets any advance tickets or anything like that, holla at your boy. I'll show up in my Akuma Jordans with my Akuma shirt, or my signed Sagat shirt. So you know that. All right. I'm out.